Good evening, everyone. It's lovely to be here and to be guiding you through this evening's relaxation session. It's been a while since I led any sessions, so I'm really happy to be here back at the project to be providing some of our support sessions for our community. So, for anyone that doesn't know who I am, my name is Lucy and I'm Ellie's mum. Relaxation and meditation, mindfulness, all these different modalities help to support me after my little girl Ellie passed away, and continue to do so. And this is why I'm so passionate to make sure that here at the Ellie's Gift Project that we do have these kind of support streams in place, aside from our Ellie's Gift Baby Loss app. I think many of us, it can be very easy to be thrown back into life after loss. And there can be lots of expectations as well, in terms of returning to work, reintegrating back into society. And as I know as a lost mum, that's really tricky because sometimes it can feel like there's not any acknowledgement or recognition of what we've been through as bereaved parents. And sometimes that can be because people don't always feel comfortable bringing up the topic of loss. Or, of course, there's lots of different reasons and complexities that come with all of this. And that can be really, really hard to navigate, and it can be really hard to reintegrate back into life when it can feel like we are different somehow, that our identity is different somehow, that before loss I can certainly think back, and before loss, the person that I was before Ellie passed away and the person that I became after her loss, very different, two very different people. So that for me is something that I'm very aware of, and I think as individuals it's really helpful to have practices in place that help to support us, these private practices that we engage in, where we can tap into support without having to share with anyone what we're doing, but we are sort of taking charge of our own well-being and of our own. I'm going to use happiness tentatively because as we know, in grief there can be mixed days. Sometimes it can feel, I certainly feel that some days are easier than others and some days are really, really tricky. So I think when we can take a little bit of autonomy over tapping into these kind of things, that's really helpful. But of course it's a practice, and I think the hardest part about doing all of this is actually making the time, being really disciplined with ourselves to make the time. But the really good thing about these relaxation sessions is that they are pre-recorded, so that if, say, this time didn't work for you, that maybe there was a different time you can listen to it instead. So yeah, I think all this is really important to acknowledge and to recognize that you are here. You've made the time this evening or whenever it is that you're watching this, and that's brilliant. So for tonight's session then, we're going to be focusing on numbers, and we're going to be looking at a little bit of mindful movement. And I also as well thought it might be quite nice, if it depends what device you're listening on. You might be on your phone, and I don't know if your phone will let you have two things open at the same time. But if you are listening on a laptop or a tablet or some other device, then what I'd like to invite you to do is on the Ellie's Gift app. If you haven't already downloaded the Ellie's Gift app, then maybe you can pause the video and do that now, if you're watching on catch up. But I thought it might be nice to go onto the Ellie's Gift app, and if you find the if you go onto the main page, I'm just walking you through this as I'm on here. So if you go to the pre-birth section, and if you go onto the birthing your baby section, at the very end, you'll see something called the Wise Hippo Instrumental. And what this is, it's a piece of music. And it's a wonderful piece of music that the Wise Hippo company, they granted us the permission to use this piece of music on our app. So if you wanted to, if it felt okay to do, then you could play this music as a background music if that felt okay to do. Oppositely, if there's another piece of music that you might want to play as I'm guiding you along, then please do put that on. There's lots of guided relaxation music on YouTube or on Spotify. So yeah, if you feel that you want to play some background music as I'm guiding you through this relaxation, then that might be a lovely idea to do. If the track on the Ellie's Gift app isn't something that you'd want to listen to, or you feel able to, because I'm aware that also you may have used that music during the birth of your own baby. So that may also not be something you want to listen to. But if you didn't use it, and if you wanted to, it's there. But oppositely, you can listen to something different, or maybe nothing at all. That's completely up to you. So yeah, the piece of technology that we have here at the project, so we can share music, but when we talk over music, the music quality doesn't come through as clear as it would if you were playing it on your own device, which is why I'm suggesting that you may want to use a little bit of music also. So, okay, well, finding somewhere then to rest comfortably. So I'd like to invite you to lie down and making sure that you're not going to be interrupted. This session is 1 hour session, so we're already nearly 8 minutes into this session now. So yeah, so for the remaining time, maybe just making sure that you're not going to be interrupted. And you can use any cushions or blankets to support your body. And also maybe not now, but in the future, if you haven't already done this, sometimes lighting a candle or an incense stick is also a really lovely thing to do. I love being at home and making my bedroom into a lovely, relaxing little sanctuary. So yeah, candles, music, lovely smells, lovely textures. And all these things can just really enhance the relaxation experience. So yeah, it may be something that you want to play around with in the future. I probably wouldn't suggest running around now and trying to light your candles and incense, but it may be something that you want to do in the future. So I'll just give you a few moments to get yourself comfortable. And as you're making those adjustments, just to let you know what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be guiding you through a relaxation script, which is all based around numbers. So this script has been adapted from something that I used to teach, and it's designed to attach numbers with relaxation. And it's a lovely track to do over and over again, because what happens is our brains start to associate the numbers with the feeling of relaxation, which is really lovely, because what happens is over time, eventually with practice, you can use those numbers 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, And then you will start to notice that there's this kind of recognition where your brain kind of goes, oh, yeah, I remember this now. And that can stimulate the relaxation response. So it's a really, really powerful practice to do. But of course, everything takes time. So, practice makes progress. So this guided session may be something that you want to come back to and revisit over and over again if it's something that you think might be helpful for you to start using. So, assuming that you're comfortable then, let's just begin by taking in a couple of slow, deep breaths together. So you can either gently close your eyes or lower your gaze, and then slowly breathing in and slowly breathing out. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Just allowing your breathing to return to its own pace and rhythm. And gently closing the eyes if they've not already closed. And really just getting a sense of the surface in which supports your body. Really giving yourself permission to truly relax and release your body into the surface, beneath it, behind it. Recognizing that this is your time to relax. And this is your time to let go of your everyday responsibilities. Really enjoying having this wonderful place to rest comfortably. This wonderful place to take the weight off your feet. And really recognizing that while learning this really helpful technique for easy relaxation, this is special time for you. Time for self-care and time to rest. So really allowing yourself then to get as comfortable as you can be. Whatever position. Knowing that you can adjust your position anytime. Really allowing yourself to be held and supported by the surface beneath you. And so I wonder now if you can move your attention to the very top of your head, noticing a very slight tingle of relaxation. Maybe slight at first, but you can imagine someone gently brushing your hair, and those wonderful feelings of relaxation begin to grow. Such a wonderful feeling now. So you continue to allow this wonderful, soothing sensation to spread around your head and your scalp and down into your forehead, your eyebrows, and into all of the little muscles in and around your eyes. And really allowing your eyes to relax. It's a really natural response of your mind and your body to relax more deeply when the eyes are feeling much more comfortable. And you continue now to move those feelings of relaxation all around your face, gently breathing in and gently breathing out. And as you do this, you notice how easy it is to allow all those muscles to let go. And you feel so calm and relaxed. And then very gently you place your tongue gently behind your front upper teeth. And as you do this, your lower jaw becomes comfortably relaxed. As this happens, you see, sense, or imagine the number 5. The number 5. And allowing that comfortable feeling to move down the back of your neck, your throat, into your shoulders. And as you do this, you say to yourself, my shoulders away from my neck, my shoulders away from my neck. Allowing space for the muscles across your upper back and your shoulders to ease out and become more comfortable. And this is really easy because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything at all. By sending the message for your shoulders to move away from your neck, your mind will create the space for those muscles to relax. And you can move that feeling of relaxation now down your arms as you say to yourself, my elbows away from my shoulders, my elbows away from my shoulders. And all the muscles in your upper arms can ease out. And that feeling of comfort can move down to your lower arms as you say to yourself, my wrists away from my elbows, my wrists away from my elbows. And those muscles too have the space to relax, to completely let go. And as you say to yourself, my fingertips away from my wrists, So any residual tension can drift out into the atmosphere, leaving you to feel calm and relaxed. So calm and relaxed as you see, you sense, or you imagine the number 4. Your arms are so relaxed that there's a different sensation within them that you maybe haven't noticed before. It's a comfortable feeling that you can move up and down and back up into the upper part of your body. And as you notice that comforting feeling moving into your chest and upper back, you take a slow, deep breath in. And as you breathe out, your shoulders relax gently into the frame of your body. And again, you notice that you are calm and relaxed. So calm and relaxed as you see, you sense, or you imagine the number 3. And these feelings of relaxation move into your stomach, your lower back. And as you feel that sense of comfort move into your abdomen, you learn how easy it is to completely relax. Completely relax. Letting go. Giving yourself permission to release, to sink down a little bit further, knowing that you are safe here in this moment with me. And continuing now to move that feeling of relaxation all the way down into your hips, your upper legs. And as you say to yourself, my knees away from my hips, my knees away from my hips. And those muscles in your upper legs relax, leaving you to feel calm and relaxed. So calm and relaxed. As you see, or you sense, or you imagine the number 2. The number 2. And waves of relaxation spreading around your knees now. The backs of your knees, the fronts of your knees, and all the way down into your shins and your calves. As you say to yourself, my ankles away from my knees, my ankles away from my knees. You know your mind creates the space for your muscles to ease out and for you to relax. And with the message for your toes to move away from your feet, you allow any residual tension to drift down and out into the ground, leaving you to feel so calm and relaxed. so calm and relaxed as you see or you sense or you imagine the number 1. See, sense, or imagine the number 1. So, let's practice that now. Taking in a nice, deep, relaxing breath. And as you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, counting the numbers 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Such a strong feeling now. Calm and relaxed. You now know that each and every one of the muscle groups within your body have been attached in a relaxed state to those numbers 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So anytime you want to relax your mind and anytime you want your body to feel more comfortable, all you have to do is take a nice relaxing breath in. And as you breathe out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Instantly sending the relaxation response down throughout your body. And when your body is more comfortable, your mind is more relaxed. And when your mind is more relaxed, your body is more comfortable. And all you have to do is take a nice, relaxing breath. And as you breathe out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. And as you rest here in this safe space, the really important thing to be aware of is that you have learnt a very simple yet powerful technique here today. And the more you use it, the more powerful it will become. By taking the opportunity each and every day to calm your mind and relax your body whenever you need, you will become an expert in relaxation, in turn remaining calm and relaxed. So calm and relaxed. And while you rest here in this wonderful state of relaxation, just notice how it feels to be still. Notice where in your body you feel that sense of relaxation. Where in your body you notice that. And while you rest here just for these few final moments, I'm going to read a poem. It's one of my favourite poems. And this poem is by an author called John Rodell, and it's called My Brain and My Heart Divorced. My brain and my heart divorced a decade ago over who was to blame about how big of a mess I have become. Eventually, they couldn't be in the same room as one another. Now my head and my heart share custody of me. I stay with my brain during the week, and my heart gets me on weekends. But they never speak to one another. Instead, they give me the same note to pass to each other every week. And their notes they send to one another always say the same thing. This is all your fault. On Sundays, my heart complains about how my head has let me down in the past. And on Wednesday, my head lists all of the times my heart has screwed things up for me in the future. And they blame each other for the state of my life. There's been a lot of yelling and lots of crying. So lately, I've been spending a lot of time with my gut, who serves as my unofficial therapist. Most nights, I sneak out of the window in my ribcage and slide down my spine, collapse on my gut's plush leather chair that's always open for me. And I just sit until the sun comes up. Last evening, my gut asked me if I was having a hard time being caught between my heart and my head, and I nodded. I said I didn't know if I could live with either of them anymore. My heart's always sad about something that happened yesterday, while my head is always worried about something that might happen tomorrow. And my gut squeezed my hand. I just can't live with my mistakes of the past, or my anxiety about the future, I sighed. And my gut smiled and said, well, in that case, you should go and stay with your lungs for a while. And I was confused. The look on my face gave it away. If you're exhausted about your heart's obsession with the fixed past, and your mind's focus on the uncertain future, then your lungs are the perfect place for you. There is no yesterday in your lungs. There is no tomorrow there either. There is only now. There is only inhale, and there is only exhale. There is only this moment. There is only this breath. And in this breath, you can rest while your heart and your head work their relationship out. So this morning, while my brain was busy reading tea leaves, and while my heart was staring at old photographs, I packed a little bag and I walked out of the door to my lungs. And before I could even knock, she opened the door, and with a smile and as a gust of air embraced me, she said, "What took you so long?" So for me, this poem really speaks to me in that being with my breath in those really difficult moments is really helpful. It's a little island of respite, brings me into the present moment, to this moment now, back to myself, back to my body. And we can learn to connect in our bodies and breath to the breath in different ways, whatever feels right for us. It's really about playing around with different ways to connect, different places to tune into. Sometimes the breath can feel a little bit intense. so we can learn to connect to the breath in different ways in our body, which is what we're going to be doing shortly. So I'd like you then just to bring into your mind the idea of moving now, the idea of movement. And in your own time, just beginning to wiggle your fingers very slowly. Maybe just rotating the wrist round. Moving the back, stretching the back, moving the head and the neck. And very, very gently, very carefully. If you've been laid down listening to this today, then bringing yourself up to the seated position, to a seated position. And yeah, getting yourself comfortable in that position, but also we're going to be doing a little bit of mindful movement with our arms, so making sure that your arms are free to move. If you're wrapped in a blanket, then maybe just wrapping that around your waist and really allowing yourself to have that space to move around. And let's just take some deeper, refreshing breaths in together. So this is different from those very slow, deep relaxation type breaths. So we're going to breathe in, like really deep, refreshing. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. I'm really just starting to shake your body. So giving your arms a shake, your shoulders a shake. Don't focus on any bits which are wibbly wobbly. Just shaking the body, waking the body up. And coming into stillness. Maybe just taking a look around your room at what you can see, the colours and the shapes. Noticing and focusing on anything that's drawing your attention to it. So where I am, I've got about 35 yoga mats all here, and they're all a vibrant purple. The light's hitting them. They're a little bit shiny. I'm focusing on all the different textures. So really allowing the sense of sight to bring you into the present moment. So this is what's real now, here with me, in this space, in your space, wherever you are. And then coming back into focus. So maybe if you want to bring your eyes back to me. And yeah, just checking in with how you feel now. How does the body feel? The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique is a really great one to do, and like I said at the beginning, if done with practice, it can be really really helpful. A helpful technique to lean into. Just those numbers 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, really powerful. When we practice that, it connects those numbers to that sense of relaxation in the body, and over time that association gets stronger, and then eventually there's that kind of whole kind of connection between that feeling and those numbers, so that anywhere you are, just taking a really deep breath in and breathing out, and in your mind counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just see what happens. It's actually quite can be quite a powerful thing to practice and to do. We can also do this as well if we couple a smell with it. So I talk a lot about anchoring. So we can use smells to connect ourselves to that feeling of relaxation. So for example, you may be listening to these sessions every week. You may want to diffuse a particular smell. So for me, that smell is lavender. So lavender is a really lovely smell that I really connect to. And I've practiced relaxation lots with lavender. So when I smell lavender now, my body remembers that that's connected to that sense of relaxation. So there's an instant feeling for me of, oh yes, this is a relaxation. This feels for me relaxing. So I tend to use lavender quite a lot. I have it as a spray. I have essential oils, a roll on for my wrist. And in times of overwhelm, I might then just put the lavender on, especially if I maybe have to do like a public speech, or maybe there's a job interview, or maybe I just feel quite triggered. So that lavender can be a really great association for me. So you may want to start coupling a smell with these sessions, just so that when you're out and about in your everyday life and you do feel quite anxious and overwhelmed, that you've got that little kind of lavender, or whatever it is, whatever smell that is, on you, and you can use that and lean into that. And of course, as well, we've got all of our tracks on our Ellie's Gift app, which are all, it's basically support in your pocket on your phone. So don't forget about that, because there's lots of resources and tracks on there that you can lean into. Um, so what we're going to be doing then next is we are going to be, I'm just going to be taking you through a little bit of mindful movement. So this is for when stillness feels too much. Sometimes stillness can feel quite tricky if we do feel quite physically anxious, quite physically, overwhelmed. So movement can be a really great way just to calm that nervous system down, but while doing something that feels a little bit more comfortable. So we call this mindful movement. Now, the sense of touch is a very powerful one. There's a lot of research done around the power of touch, and there's various different ways of bringing in touch to self-soothe. And I want to try and bring some of these into this mindful movement now also, because these again will be things that you can take forward. So mindful movement. So what is mindfulness? So mindfulness is all about paying attention. So it's paying attention in it, but in a particular way. So we can bring in some of these, what we call these foundational attitudes. So we're looking at kindness, acceptance, not judging. Having this kind of beginner's mindset. So beginner's mind is like, when we've never seen something or experienced something for the first time, we can be very curious. Sometimes in our everyday life, we just lose that. We go on autopilot. So when we learn to kind of come into the present moment and pay attention in a particular way, we're paying attention in a way that's kind of like, oh, okay, this is what I'm noticing, but I'm not going to judge it, and I'm going to be curious about this. Oh, what does that feel like, and where do I feel that? And oh, that's interesting. But it's not about kind of going, oh well, you know, um, I kind of I don't like this, I like this, or kind of judging it in any way. It's just about having this very excuse me one moment. I do apologise. I've got a little bit of hay fever going on, and my throat's very sore. Um, so yeah, it's more about having this kind of a very um, a very curious, non-judgmental approach to our present moment experience as it's unfolding in the moment. Um, so yeah, if we're noticing that something's unpleasant, it's like, oh, okay, I'm noticing that doesn't feel very comfortable. So he's just noticing it. We're not sort of saying, I don't like it. Why is it like this? And then that can lead to a story. Maybe it's uncomfortable because I'm not doing yoga, or maybe it's uncomfortable because I'm not sleeping well. And, before we know it, we've come well away from the present moment, and we are completely in the past or in the future. So it can pull us out of the present moment. So when we're saying we're not judging, we're just noticing. We're noticing what our experience is like in that moment. Um, so so yeah, mindful movement is about purposely doing some movements in a very kind of slow and controlled way. Sometimes we can do mindful movements faster though as well. It's not like yoga, because of course yoga is a huge topic to talk on. I'm not a yoga teacher. I do practice yoga, but we've got the spiritual element of yoga, different asanas, postures. There's all sorts of uh, philosophy behind all of yoga. So we're not doing yoga as such. Mindful movement is more about just kind of moving the body and noticing through that movement. So it's like a meditation as movement. So we're concentrating on that movement. So so the first one then I want to show you is a lovely mindful movement, and you can do this anywhere, and it can just really help if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and you feel like you need some support. And it literally is. So we start off with our arms hugging the body, and then as we breathe in, we open our arms up nice and wide. And as we breathe out, we bring our arms back round the body. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And just stay here for a moment. So as you're wrapping your arms around your body, I want you to, or invite you to notice, just close your eyes, how this feels. How does it feel? So where do you feel the sensations in this moment now? What do you notice about this movement? And then just very gently open your eyes. And I want you just to see what I'm doing now. So I'm just rubbing my arms up and down. And when you're doing that, again, closing your eyes and continue to do it. How does that feel? So take some deep breaths with this. So breathing slowly in. Breathing slowly out. Breathing slowly in. Breathing slowly out. So we're just noticing how we feel, and then just coming into stillness. Again, noticing any sensations. Noticing any emotions that are coming up. And we're not trying to change anything. We're just being an observer of our own experience. That's literally all we're doing here. In this moment now, in the present moment, we're strengthening that ability to concentrate in the moment. That concentration leads to awareness, which leads to insight. So when I say insight, what I mean by this is when we learn how to be more aware, then it actually allows us to respond more skillfully to life. So rather than just kind of impulsively reacting to life. So it means that we might find ourselves taking longer moments to reflect before we take action. We might find ourselves noticing more around the ways we maybe talk to ourselves in a negative way and choose instead to be much more compassionate. We might notice more how we use food to somehow comfort us in terms of our emotional state, and we may choose to make better choices. So it just creates space, and awareness leads to that insight so that we can respond much more skillfully, which in turn brings much more greater ease in relation to grief. And we do a lot more of this on our 8-week mindfulness course, which is, for anyone interested, we have our places now open on that for the next course, which is due to start in June. Okay, so gently opening your eyes, relaxing your arms down. And the next one that I want to show you is where we bring our hands up to this, what sometimes would refer to this as a Namaste heart center. But we just bring our palms together. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in. And as we breathe in, take our arms all the way up. And then breathe out and bring our arms back round and then back to the center. And then breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And just doing this in your own time. And as you're doing this, just notice where your mind's going. So I want you to just focus on the movement and your breath. And you can do this slower if that feels much more comfortable for you. It's just movement. So what this movement does is it brings into the present moment. It helps to regulate our nervous system when combined with slow, deep breathing. And it's a meditation in itself because we're focusing and concentrating on the movement and the breath together. And then gently just bringing your arms again into stillness. And gently opening your eyes. So before we move on to the next one, just to check in with how you feel. What's happening in your body? Do you feel any new sensations? Sometimes for me, I feel tingly sensations when I move the body and breathe in this way. I actually feel quite refreshed and energized at the moment from that movement. So just noticing how you feel. And then another movement, which is another one of my favorites actually, is where we actually use the palms, the hands with the breath. So I'm just showing you my hands up here now, but I'd like you just to rest your hands ideally on your thighs. So, but I'm going to bring them up. So the idea is that when we breathe in, we close our arms, close our hands down as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, we open our hands up. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. So again, just doing this at your own pace. So I'm not going to tell you when to breathe now, just breathing in and out at your own pace and moving your hands, gently closing your eyes and noticing any sensations, the movements, the feel of air as you move your hands. So the air moves through your fingers. So in this moment now, so this moment right now is all you have. It's your present moment. It's what's real. None of what you're imagining or nothing that's gone before. All that's happened and it may happen. But this ultimately right now, this is the present moment. And what we do with this moment affects what happens in the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. So by changing or by noticing what's going on in the present moment, we are changing what happens next because we can learn to be more skillful in that moment. I hope that makes sense. So by doing this, by noticing, we're actually strengthening the area in our brain which pays attention, helps us to concentrate on what we're doing. So we're being mindful in this moment now of our breath, of the movements as we breathe in and as we breathe out. And then very gently coming into stillness. Noticing how you feel. And then very slowly open your eyes if they've been closed. And then so placing one hand on your heart space, on your chest. Placing the other hand on top. Noticing how this feels. So this is a very compassionate act to do as well. So along with that rubbing, remember where I said that sense of touch can help to provide comfort and change the way that we feel. So we can rub our arms, or we can place hands on our chest. And we can do these movements whenever we feel overwhelmed. Whenever we feel that grief has taken hold, or maybe we've not been very compassionate, or maybe someone else has not been compassionate and we need a moment to feel safe and held and loved and seen and heard and validated, we can do this for ourselves. We can use this sense of touch to provide comfort. We can use that movement, that mindful movement, to find some ease when we feel that stillness is too much, but yet we just need a little bit of space. We need to find a little bit of calm, ease. We can do that mindful movement. So there's mindful movement tracks on the Ellie's Gift app. There's compassionate kindness meditations on the Ellie's Gift app. There's lots of resources on there. And as we move through this year, there'll be more and more that's being added. We've also got our Ellie's Gift baby loss website as well. And on there's lots of different tracks too, some of which are on the app, some of which aren't on the app. So do please explore those. But remember, we've got all this support here for you. It's completely free support. It's there because we care, because we want to provide support. And I understand as a bereaved mother just how important this is, how important this space is. And we'll continue to strive and continue to provide our support for as long as we breathe, hopefully. So yeah, I really hope that today's session has been helpful for you. You've enjoyed the relaxation session. If you're able to make a small donation, that would be amazing. We at the project are funded for 2 years to run these sessions, but in the meantime we are fundraising to try and ensure that we can continue to carry on with these sessions after the time has finished. So yeah, maybe if you can give £1, £2, £5, anything would be amazing. But I also understand that times are also difficult for people too. So only please, if you're able to, then yeah, we would love to encourage people to try and support us where possible. So I wish you well, and I will be back in another not next week, the week after, to deliver another session. You have the wonderful Katie next week, and we have lots more in store here at the Ellie's Gift Project. But until then, take care, guys. Have a wonderful sleep, or whatever you're doing with your day, depending on when you listen to this. And we'll see you very soon. Okay, bye.